Welcome to episode 52 of the VR Gaming Podcast. I'm here with Alex, Virtual Insider on YouTube, and I'm Main Fan. Alex, what's going on?
Hey up, how's it going? I'm alright, pal. How are they?
What happened to your English accent? What type of English accent is that?
This is how I talk normally. I'm from Sheffield, you know.
Sheffield?
Sheffield,
Where's that in the UK?
It's up north. North at UK. North,
Can you do an accent of all the different areas?
No, not really.
Huh.
I'm from Sheffield, so I can do a good Sheffield accent.
Oh, okay.
I can do other little bits and bobs, but...
Can you do a Scouser?
Yeah. All right, mate. How's it going?
Scousers are gay?
They're very high-pitched, aren't they?
Oh, they're high-pitched,
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, how's it going? How's it going then?
Okay.
I don't know. That's about it.
Are those the only two you can do?
For now. Maybe I'll do some next month. I'll figure some
okay, so like Fluke, does he have a certain one? And then like other like VR Oasis Mike and like the other gamer tag, do they have specific accents?
I think Fluke sounds northern to me.
Okay.
It sounds like he's from up north somewhere. Mike and Gamertag are more southern accents. So they're more like London area-ish. That sort of yeah. I can tell the difference. Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll move on to some well, I'm not going to be talking about VR right now. This is going to be something sort of related to VR. I went to something called Immersive Gamebox with my daughter. And because it was called Immersive Gamebox, I was like, well, all right, well, this sounds cool. We were already at the mall and they had this thing, Immersive Gamebox. So I wanted to try it out. So what you do is you wear this visor with these balls on it. I don't know, what do you call these? Tracking balls?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So you wear this visor and you're in this room where there's 4 projectors, one for each wall. It's a 4-sided room, and it's just you in there. So you can have a group of people, or just like you could just have 2 people. So she and I did it. We did this Paw Patrol thing, and so there's 4 projectors, and then there's some sort of camera or something, I guess on all 4 sides, maybe sensing these balls moving around. So like here and there, so it sees where you're touching on the wall. So she had fun running around, seeing the leaves come wherever she touched. But I ended up finding that the touch sensitivity was really bad.
And you can see there in that video, she's like lagging, like when
I'll go back.
Hands
lagging. Oh well, it was. I have a video where I'll show you. It was a lot worse than that. This is the best where it ever worked. Yeah. So when I say here, we're talking about on the YouTube video. If you're just listening, you're not going to see any of this video, unfortunately. If you're just listening like to the audio only,
it's basically rubbing a hand across the wall and like leaves are coming out, but you can see her hands like actually a foot in front of where the actual leaves start to come out. So there's like a lot of delay to the input to it's actually doing something.
And the games were just basically like really bad mobile games. We just went through a series of these games, and you just walk around the room, and that's what I'm showing on the screen right now. She's walking around the room, and her movement is translating to this little boat in the water. So if she goes left, the boat goes left. If she walks backward, the boat goes down. So basically all this is, it's like a tablet game, and instead of using your finger, you're walking around a room to move the thing, or instead of using an analog stick, you're walking around the room. And that's really all this is. Plus, some of the games had places where you could touch. So, like, I'll show you right now. There was a matching game, and I took this video because it was. So these Paw Patrol cards, you're supposed to be able to touch them, and like then it flips them over. It was like a matching game, and this is me getting really frustrated. Like, all right, come on, register my hand, come on. and it just made me really miss VR.
Yeah.
Having controllers that are extremely precise. Like if VR was this bad, I would never mess with it. And this actually cost me $75. The two of us,
What?
yeah, the two of us for 50 minutes was
Wow.
$75 with tax.
Wow.
I thought about like bringing it up at the front counter and complaining, but I was with my daughter and there were a bunch of people in the reception area and I was like, all right, I'll just let it go. But yeah, it didn't work well. The games were low quality mobile things. They also have things like Squid Games for adults, and they have like Black Mirror, and they even have some Ghostbusters things. I don't know if those are any better, but they also only just use those visors. Like there's no
Yeah.
controllers or other input method. It's just you, I guess, touching the walls, hoping it's going to register.
It's like we've gone backwards. We've gone
Yeah.
from having these VR arcades, which seem to have died off, and now we've got this shit, which is just
Yeah, people don't
terrible.
want to wear those things on their face. And
Yeah.
these visors are, they're light. They're more comfortable.
Yeah.
And people really want to be able to see the real world. They don't, normal people at least. I don't think they're very comfortable having the real world closed off. But I guess if they
Yeah.
had AR glasses, maybe people would be fine with those where they could see the real world.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
probably
that,
a good compromise.
yeah. So that's all. I just wanted to show that and let you know that VR is way better than Immersive Gamebox, so that you don't waste
Cool.
your money. All right, you want to go to
Yeah.
the first VR game?
Why not?
It's Contractors Showdown. You probably played this more than I did, so you could say more.
Yeah, I played a few rounds with a couple of friends, and I realized that I don't really like battle royale games. It's basically the Contractors game, but with a big battle royale map. And I don't know. I just you spend so much time just waiting around, and then you get into a game, and then you've like it's because it's quite a big map. I did find that quite a lot of the time we were just like on our own, running around, not really getting attacked, and then you'd finally find someone, and then majority of the times I'd just die because I'm bad at it. So
That was my
it,
experience.
yeah, I mean it's if you like battle royale games, it's a good battle royale VR game. It's just I don't really like this gameplay loop of just waiting around and then just not seeing anybody for ages and then dying. It's not really that much fun for me personally. But the gun, everything feels good. It looks pretty good, even though you can tell it's been made for the Quest, even on PC.
Yeah,
Um, it works fine. It's pretty polished. They've got these zip lines that you can grab and that you fly up into the air, which is really cool. And then you've got
the
a
zip lines are
parachute
cool.
you can deploy. Yeah, the zip lines are cool. You can parachute and fly around. It's a good battle royale VR game. If you like those sort of games, you're gonna enjoy it. I just don't really like the pacing of a battle royale game.
So here was my experience. First thing I did was try to do the tutorial. I don't know if this happened if you did the tutorial. When I went to the tutorial, at one point it says, "All right, go to this." It's just teaching you how to walk. I was that early in the tutorial
Yeah,
and said, "All right, go to this waypoint." And I'm like, "All right, what waypoint?" I'm looking around everywhere. There's no waypoint, nowhere. So then I looked at the Steam discussions, and there were other people complaining about there's no waypoint. So they had to do an update so that the tutorial had a waypoint for you to actually walk to. I'm like, what the hell? I don't know. That seems like a pretty basic thing. Like, make your tutorial work. So after that, I was
yeah,
able to do the tutorial, and then you start in this kind of opening area that's like for yourself. It kind of reminded me of Metal Gear Solid on PS4. I don't know if you ever played that. Where it's
no,
like a big oil rig platform in the ocean basically, and you just run around and you can practice guns there and stuff. I don't know if they got the idea from that. I was pulling guns off of the wall, and there. Did you have any guns get stuck in the wall, and then I would have Stretch Armstrong arms. Like I would walk away and then my arms would like be 20 feet long. Did that ever happen to
I
you?
never really bothered with it. I just
Oh,
went
okay.
straight into a match. So
Well, I was just running around messing with stuff. Did you notice for me, this was very apparent from the beginning. I saw this weird screen door effect thing on,
no,
and I saw
yeah,
someone else post about it in the discussions. Okay, so on some surfaces and some textures, I would see this weird screen door effect type of thing that I've never seen in any other games in this headset, especially because it's a Quest 3, which I'm wearing right now. Uh, it, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It kind of looked like, am I using a Vive right now? It was okay, but you didn't see it. But you were using a Quest 3 too, right?
yeah. Maybe I'm wondering if you're thinking like because there's this thing with like the LODs where like they can be transparent as they transition in and stuff. So
Maybe
maybe
that's
it's
what it
that. I don't
is.
know. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, but I didn't. Maybe I just already knew what it was, so I didn't like think anything of it. But
Like, yeah,
yeah,
and it would change the closer you would get to it, but it would be like, it would just
yeah,
be a flat wall. Whereas I'm used to with the level of detail shit, the LOD thing, whereas like you would see a boulder that just like keeps getting more detailed and more detailed as you get closer to it.
yeah.
I'm not
'Cause
used
there
to
is a lot of
seeing
popping in
just,
this game.
yeah, I'm not used to just seeing like a flat wall where this screen door effect looking thing keeps changing. But like you just said, transparency, right? So maybe that's some sort
Yeah,
of transparency thing, or it helps with rendering somehow, I guess. I
yeah.
did
I
I
mean,
did see that in I saw a lot of that in Asgard's Wrath 2, but with that, I was like, all right, this is a standalone game. I totally
yeah,
understand. But in this game, I don't. With a PC game, I'm not used to seeing that much. I don't know.
yeah. It looks like they've not done anything. Like I feel like on PC we should be able to just like crank up so that the odds are like more better because like you can see like, as you parachute off like the airplane, like you can just see stuff popping in like everywhere. Like
Yeah.
it looks really bad.
So
That's one of the biggest disappointments.
I played alone. So there's a little checkbox where you can untick like to fill teammates. So I just was playing
Yeah,
alone. That didn't help me at all because, I'd run around searching for guns. And usually I couldn't even find a gun and then somebody would kill me before I could even get a gun. That was what happened mostly. But when I did find guns, they were always usually just lying on the ground, which I didn't really
yeah,
like. They're just a pile on the ground instead of like
yeah,
Standout was a battle royale game I used to play a lot. The guns would be like on a table,
yeah.
pretty
They've
much
got
always.
it's like Population One where there's like no furniture, so you walk into a room and it's like empty, and then there's just a gun or some ammo laid on the floor. It's the same story. Like the buildings are all just shells of buildings. They're not like got anything in them or anything.
Yeah,
Um,
and
yeah,
I thought
we'll have to maybe have a few games together, like so you've got people to play with.
your mic
Because
is
it's obviously
your mic's losing quality right now.
is it?
Yeah, it was. You might be back to
Maybe it's
normal.
the internet.
I
My
don't know.
internet's shit where I'm right now, so it could be that.
Oh, okay. All right. So, did you find? I found the plane drop buggy. Like, it was really weird. Uh, I don't know how to describe it.
Uh, I had a couple of times where it felt like I was trying to fall through the floor. I was like trying to get out of the plane, and then it would like just bug out a little bit, and then eventually I would be like flying in the air again. I mean, generally I found it pretty polished. Like I didn't have major bugs with the game, and it's obviously just released, so I expect they're gonna keep you know changing and tweaking stuff. So I think overall it seems all right. But yeah, there's definitely a few issues here and there.
So yeah, you can look for a gun, or you can go to a gun vending machine, which I found confusing. So do some people go into the matches with a bunch of money?
No, you have to find money in the matches. So like when you're looting, you find money, and then you can use that money to buy like different guns, attachments. You can even buy like if you've got a teammate that's been down, you can literally buy them back into the game so that they come back in.
But here's my
Uh,
question: do you have a money fund that stays with you?
no, he
It
resets
resets
every
every
game.
match.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good. But there are things that you can unlock and perks and shit that it seems like maybe somebody would have an advantage.
Yeah, there's definitely I don't really understand the full system because you can get these chips that you find in the
Yeah,
game and you can
it's
use them.
confusing.
Yeah, it is too complicated for me. I just literally just kept going into games. I didn't give a shit about all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you've got different perks that you can have, which give you different stuff. And I just wasn't interested. I just wanted to get in the game. This is why it probably isn't a game for me because I just like to get in a game, like start shooting at stuff, and if I die, I like to just get back in. And just I just prefer the raw gameplay of these sort of games rather than
Yeah.
having all these upgrades and level ups and like having to whole system of you because like you get these chips and then you can walk up to this platform and then you can like figure out what give you different stuff. But then like I had like 5 chips and I had to individually like press the button, wait for the animation, wait for it to tell me what I've got, press the button again, and it's like, well, give me an option to just open them all at once so I can just see what I've got and move on. I don't want to have to stand there for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, just unlocking all this shit. So it's
Yeah,
annoying.
so when I was playing this, I was like saying I miss Standout. I had over 100 hours in Standout, and like I used to actually be able to kill people in that, but I don't know if I was just killing bots. Who knows? Um,
Yeah,
but so then I was like, all right, let me load up Standout and see how that compares. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, Standout does look like shit. I forgot. It's been so long. Compared to this, yeah, Standout looks like shit. And I didn't think there was going to be anybody playing. So we were in the plane, and I'm like, hey, is there another human in here? And then I hear this voice, we are Venom. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. I guess there is. So then we get into the match, and I killed a bunch of bots. Made me feel better about myself after getting killed in Contractor Showdown over and over. And
yeah.
then eventually somebody kills me, and it's somebody named Venom. And I was like, well, there's
Oh
the human.
God,
There's the human. I wonder if he just sits in there all day ruling
hoping that
Standout.
someone will join. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, he sniped me from some tower.
yeah. It's a sad existence, rather.
Okay. So I guess that's it for Contractor Showdown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you like battle royale games, buy it. If you don't, it's really cheap as well. It's like $15 or something. It's like $20
Oh
maybe.
yeah. I heard from somebody on YouTube that this has auto aim in it. That it helps you aim. And I don't know
Well,
if you did you hear about that?
I didn't notice that I was shooting at someone on a cliff top and I was missing
Mhm.
every shot. So if it's got auto aim, it's not working for me. That's for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't for me either. Okay. I did manage to shoot some people, just not enough. Just not enough.
Yeah, I did kill some people, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, you spend like I say, you spending. If I spend an hour playing this game, I might get 2 kills in an hour. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're
Yeah.
spending a lot of time the dying, running around, trying to find guns. It's just there's not a lot of
Yeah.
actual shooting and killing people
It's
really.
not enough guns for me. It was really hard for me to find them.
I always found
Yeah.
guns actually. I
Oh,
don't. Maybe
really?
you just landed in the wrong
I
spots.
didn't know. Yeah,
They
I
never
didn't
had
know where to
attachments
go.
though, because you can find
Oh,
attachments in the game, and I
yeah.
could never find attachments. And I can't aim very well with iron sights, so like that was annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish there was more attachments so that I could actually aim properly.
All right, I'll go to the next one. It's Max Mustard. I was saying that I was going to hold off until this came out on Steam, but there haven't been many VR games coming out lately, and I really wanted to play this, so I bought it for Quest, and I played it on my Quest 3, and this completely exceeded my expectations. This is probably the game that I enjoyed the most out of everything we're going to talk about.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would recommend this totally to anybody. So like obviously it's like Astrobot. Its graphics aren't as good as Astrobot's, but I tended to I kind of got annoyed by Astrobot. Like the character to me is just a little bit too cutesy, and this
Oh my
character
god,
isn't.
how can you get annoyed with Astrobot?
He
Something
just
wrong with you.
he annoys me. He's just little cute.
He's
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the most adorable little fucking thing you've ever seen.
I don't
Uh,
like I don't like adorable.
oh God, because you're a
Whereas
man.
this
You're a
Max
man's man.
yeah, I'm too manly. This girl, she's not adorable. She's not cutesy. She's not like I don't know. I don't know. But this this game is just like Astrobot, where you hold the button down and then you shoot the jets, and so you can land your jumps better. Let me look at my notes. It looks better than the videos. In the headset, it's way better. It has great use of 3D. Like there are lots of scenes where this character Max is like jumping right up in your face, or where the scenery is doing something that's like right in your face, and it's really cool looking. And like Astrobot, you'll end up being able to do stuff with your hands, like you'll get a plunger gun, you'll get a fan gun where you can interact with the environment. And all these coins, you don't get coins to get an extra life or anything in this game because it's unlimited lives. The coins are to buy upgrades in a store. So you go to the store and then you can buy like faster speed or better jumps or a new attack, all sorts of things. And I think that's pretty cool. So there are like 40 levels, 27 regular levels. I counted them. 4 boss levels and then 9 like mini game or bonus levels where you just got to like get as many coins as you can a certain amount of time. Or there's actually some of these bonus levels are really hard where you'll have a plunger gun and you have to hit, it's like a shooting gallery, but it's timed and you have to hit a certain time to get the best reward. And some of them I couldn't get the best time. And there's an overworld map, so it's an overworld map like Mario World, but it's 3D, and there are 4 different overworld maps, and you'll see the little Max character walking along from stage to stage, and you control that. And I thought the bosses were too easy. I struggled. There were some levels where I died a lot, but like none of the bosses killed me. But so that's a criticism. You have okay. I already said you have unlimited lives. Some people have said the music isn't very good. I would say yeah, the music was pretty generic, but there were some levels where I was actually surprised by how good the music was. So it's pretty inconsistent, I guess. And I think it took me about 5 hours to beat, probably. But like with Quest, there's no way to know how much time you actually. They need to add that. You don't. There's no time counter like there is on Steam.
How much is it?
30. I think it was 30.
Mm.
And I used like a discount code or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's going to come to Steam, but I don't know when. And I don't know if it's going to be improved. But to me, this is a must buy.
Okay.
But you could wait. Yeah, I was happy the whole time I was playing it.
Good. That's definitely made me more interested because I've never been that interested in playing this really. I don't know why. It's just not really looked appealing to me, but if you say it's really good, then I need to play it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's all I have to say. We'll do
Well,
Walkabout Mini Golf Venice, which I have not played, but I guess you played it last weekend?
yeah, me and Josh had a round. We've not done the hard one yet. We've just done the easy.
Okay.
There's not much to say other than it looks good. The holes themselves, I'd say, are okay. Like nothing special, but it looks nice and it's like a nice environment. It's a cool place to be. Cool place to socialize with someone and chat. Like all these are really, but I prefer the ones where they do more with like the gameplay. Like the last one with the ice layer where they made the ice cubes and stuff. Whereas this is just straightforward, just on greens, just your regular schmegular, nothing special.
Did you and Josh have a romantic boat ride in the canal?
No, but I sucked him off.
Oh, well, that's good at least.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
I've not
All
spoke
right.
to him for a while, so I thought
He got what he
there's something
wanted.
special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe are you both going to be available this weekend?
No,
No?
unfortunately.
Wait,
No.
you're not going to be available, or he's not going
I,
to be available?
I won't. I won't be available. So Josh
Okay.
probably will be. You
Okay.
could play it
Well,
with him.
maybe he can
Yeah,
suck me
catch up.
off.
I mean, yeah.
All right.
I don't
If
know.
you don't,
I
if you
don't
don't
understand why
mind.
not. I mean, ask him. You know,
Okay.
I don't. I'm not. I don't. I don't know if
You're not
he's
going to
gonna
get
do it or not.
jealous? I was wondering if you would get jealous.
I mean, I'd rather be there to watch, but
Yeah.
you know, what can I do? You know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see how that goes. All right. Next
Okay.
game, Whitewater VR Extreme Kayaking Adventure.
My God, what a name.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked for a key and got a free key. So thanks to the developer. I think it's one guy named Adam
Yeah.
is the developer of this. So it's like Kayak VR Mirage, except it has rapids and waterfalls. So there's a lot more going on. It's way more intense. It's a lot harder I
Yeah.
think it's a lot harder to control, but it's probably because this water is fast and you're going all over the place. But there's some people
Yeah. I
that have
feel like.
complained in the
Yeah.
discussions about it.
I've seen some people give really bad reviews comparing it to Kayak Mirage and saying that the controls are shit. I
Yeah.
think it could do with improvement. Like the paddles don't seem to feel like they move you forward enough. Like they don't have
Yeah.
enough control. And
Yeah.
obviously, when you're fighting with these currents, you really need to be able to like move around more. I spent most of my time kind of like just steering, like putting the paddle in and like to the right and then like turning right sort of thing, rather than paddling a lot because I found the paddling was too weak.
Here's the secret. You got to lean. You have to physically lean your body toward the direction you want to go.
Yeah,
Once I started doing that, I was like, oh, I can go wherever I want now. And I think
yeah, I was
Kayak
leaning as
VR
well.
Mirage probably doesn't have that feature.
It does, but it's
Oh, it
probably
does.
more aggressive in this game, I think, because
Okay.
like it's you can lean in Kayak Mirage though. I've done it.
Okay.
It does turn you, but like very small amounts.
Okay. Yeah, I was leaning like a lot in this, like pretty
Yeah,
far. So there are 5 courses: Tropical Jungle, Alpine Valley, Spring Mountain, Eastern Iceland, and Desert Canyon. And Desert Canyon looks a lot like the first level in Kayak Mirage. Um,
yeah,
One weird thing, did you find this weird that when you're doing the menus, you had to use your left hand? In
yeah.
almost all games, it's the right hand, or you can at least
So it must
change
be.
the hand.
Yeah, usually if you press trigger or something, it'll activate whichever controller you've got in your hand. But
Yeah,
yeah, it just never registered the right hand. You always have to use the left, which
I,
maybe
I,
the developer's left-handed and didn't think to add
that's what I
right-hand
figured.
support.
I told him, yeah, I asked him to fix that. Uh, he did. I told him the tutorial was too hard, and then other people agreed, and then he changed it. So now the tutorial isn't mandatory, and you used to have to get every single box in the tutorial when you're going down the river, and now you don't. It was really hard before. I was actually getting really frustrated
Yeah.
with the tutorial on the launch day. And not to toot my own horn, but on launch day, I had second place on every level.
What are you at now?
I don't know. I haven't looked. I actually do want to
Oh,
go. I'll probably look today to see where I am now. But I assume first place is the developer.
probably. He should
Yeah.
have taken his times off really, so that other people could
Yeah.
maybe. I'm sure someone will beat the times though.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, and there's like free free mode where you just go and it times you. And that's what I did for those
Yeah,
leaderboards. But
that's
then
what
there's
I used.
also is it time trial? I haven't tried that. I think maybe
I think
that
that's where
one.
you've got those boxes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got to get the boxes to add time, and if you don't get them fast enough, then you run out of time, and it's like game over. I tried that in the demo, and I didn't like it. I preferred to just
Yeah.
go down and go against the clock.
It probably, yeah, because like in the tutorial, if you missed one box, you had to start all over, and maybe that's how it is with this. Like you have to get every box.
I wish they'd just use gates, like in the real kayaking, where you have to go through
Yeah,
the gates and if you've touched the
Yeah.
poles, you get extra time and stuff. Like, I'd rather them just do that rather than these boxes. But
Does Mirage have gates?
yeah, that's got gates.
Okay. All right.
Maybe he wanted to differentiate himself.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go to the next game.
Oh wait, I'm not.
Escape.
I want to talk
Oh,
about
you're
this a
not.
little bit.
Oh, all right.
No, I just wanted to mention there's a few bugs.
Okay.
Like physics could do with some work. I don't know if you found this, but like sometimes your kayak would get like flung up into the air. Like if you
Oh,
hit
that did happen to
something
me once. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, you would. And the other thing as well, sometimes the paddle would like get stuck underneath the kayak.
Yep, that happened to me.
So like you would just like your hands would be like your paddle would be underneath. You can't paddle anymore, and then like the kayak would just do weird shit.
Yeah.
Visually it looks nice, but in the headset it does look a bit like low res. Some of the textures are a bit low res, and things aren't quite as polished
Yeah,
as
there are
Kayak
some.
Mirage.
Yeah, some of the textures. Yeah, when you get close up. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. In the demo, you couldn't push off of the rocks and stuff, but now in this version, you can.
Yeah, they've added that at least. So
Yeah.
if you get stuck, you can at least push yourself off, which is good. Although again, it feels a bit clunky, but it at least works.
There was one place where I got stuck where I couldn't get myself out of it, and there's no way to reset yourself, so I just had to start the level over.
Yeah, it needs work. It definitely needs some tweaking and polishing. And I find the lighting is not quite as good as Kayak Mirage. Like, it doesn't look quite as realistic. It looks pretty good in the videos, but in the headset, I found you could definitely tell like you're in a video game. Sort of, it's got that look to it. I mean, the cool. I thought that the coasters were really cool. There's one in like a tropical jungle, which I really liked because it felt like an old Tomb Raider game level, like just the overall feel of it.
And there were temples and
yeah,
stuff.
like yeah, it was really cool. And I think the big problem is you can't really sightsee either because of the current. You've got to be concentrating on what you're doing and where you're going. Like within Kayak Mirage, you can literally just paddle around and there's like sea life and stuff, and there's stuff going on. Like it's worth exploring. Whereas this is just you get on the thing and you've got to paddle and like get to the bottom because the current's taking you no matter what.
Yeah, this is not a relaxation game at all.
No, this is an action game.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun though. I did like it, but I just don't know how much time you're going to put into it because I did all the levels and it took me like 40 minutes to do each level once. So how many times am I going to keep doing it? Because I'm not bothered about leaderboards and stuff, so I'm not going to like go back and keep trying to beat my time.
Well, the good thing about VR games is, the good thing about VR games is a leaderboard you could actually have a chance.
Yeah. I've just never been bothered about leaderboards. It just never really interests me. If they had like like a gold, silver, or bronze time to beat or something, so I get medals, I think I'd do that.
Okay.
If I had a specific time where I needed to get these medals, that would be something that I'd definitely go back to do. But as it is now, it's just like leaderboard or doing this time trial thing with the boxes, which I don't like. So there's not really a lot of replayability for me personally. So it's like if you're like that, then I don't think it's probably worth it right now because, like I say, 40 minutes, you're going to have done them all. So if you want to do them again, then, you might get an hour or so's worth of gameplay out of it. But I think you've got to be into leaderboards and stuff.
The dev could easily add those medals. That would be an easy thing to add.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like if you had like these little achievements and like you've got a gold, silver, bronze times to beat, I would definitely try and get all the medals. That would give me an incentive to replay the levels. Just adding that.
Yeah. And it could give you like different color kayaks. I guess some people care about that. I wouldn't care.
Yeah, I won't care about that. It's just for some reason I really like having like a target, like a time to beat sort of thing, rather than just because I'm never going to get first place on the leaderboard. So to me, it's like it don't really matter whether I come 50th or 10th. It's just not that interesting to me. Whereas if I've got like an actual literal time to beat and get a medal for it, then that's something that I would do. Which is, if the developer's listening, that's something. If you add that, then I would definitely play a lot more of it.
Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right, Escape Simulator. Now, did you play it after they did an update I saw where they made it
Yeah,
so
they've
you
added
can?
the hands. Yeah.
You tried that?
Yeah, me and Josh did a couple of levels. We were going to wait for you, but because we're not really managing to meet up with much anymore, because
Yeah.
I've got a girlfriend and I'm constantly shagging, so, you know,
I was wondering if you'd bring that up.
just to rub it in, I'm
Yeah.
constantly getting sex all the fucking
Yeah.
time.
Well, I always have Josh, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, if you and Josh wanted to play some this weekend, it wouldn't bother me. But we did a couple of them.
I meant for sex.
We
I
did.
had Josh. That's what I meant.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, you've got Josh for
Mm-hmm.
blowjobs at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the good thing about this is it keeps your progress from the demo, so it already recognizes that we've done the demo levels, which is cool.
Oh.
And then yeah, we did another one of the Egyptian ones, and then we did one called A Cat in Time, which is like I think it was based on a game that they released, and it took us literally over an hour to do that one. It's like really
Damn.
difficult. Yeah. So, but there's loads of content. There's so many different rooms to do, and then on top of that, you've got DLC. You can get some of it's free, some of it's paid, and you've also got
Wasn't some of the free DLC Portal related?
yeah. There's a Portal one, and then there's an Among Us one. And yeah, there's community made maps, which we tried one of them and it wasn't very good, but there's like thousands of community made maps, so you can probably find some decent ones to play. So yeah, even without the community made stuff, there's so much content. There's so many rooms to do. And one thing I love about this is that it's multiplayer, so you can have. Is it something like up to 8 people or something crazy? I can't remember.
Think so.
I know the standard rooms are very small. Like you wouldn't want more than 4 people in there, really. But it's just cool to be able to just do an escape room with other people, and like again, it's just like a social thing where you're chatting and you're catching up whilst you're trying to
Get
solve
ready.
puzzles and figure things out. And now you can actually see each other's hands, so you're not like this weird like 2D flat version of yourself doing weird shit. So it's still a bit clunky. Like picking things up sometimes can be a bit tricky, like getting the right thing and stuff. And there's a lot of stuff in these rooms, but I don't mind it so much just because the game itself is really good. Like it's a really good escape room game. The puzzles are really good, and I think it's just really fun to play with other people. And it's free if you already own the game. So it's not like paid DLC or anything. You can just buy the flat game and you already get the VR version for free. It's really good.
The Steam
Well
page
worth
says
the money.
we recommend to play built-in rooms with up to 3 players, but you're welcome to play with more. Community rooms have been tested with up to 10 people. So maybe they're
Yeah, I would say
giant community rooms or something.
yeah, we did one actually. We started doing one which was really cool, where you're on like a desert island and there's a shark circling around you and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we immediately were like, "Oh, we'll wait to play this with Justin," because it was just a really cool level. Like it wasn't in a room
Mm-hmm.
like the others. It was literally out on an island, and you can look out to the sea and stuff. It was
Thanks for
really cool.
thinking
So
of
there's some
me.
really yeah. So we wanted to just try a couple of them out because I've been really wanting to play it, but this is the one. Oh, it was just on the video there for like 2 seconds, but yeah, it's really good. If you like puzzle games and you want to play multiplayer like escape room games, then this is a big high recommendation from me. It's great.
This video looks like it's the flat version. Maybe I got the wrong video. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it is.
Yeah. All right, you want to go to the next one?
Yep.
All right, I saw that you played this a little bit. Firmament. This was on the Humble bundle. I bought this Humble bundle pretty much just for Firmament because it was a $20 bundle, and I was like, Firmament's probably not going to go for less than that. And I've been curious about it, so I got it. And I think, well, right from the beginning, there was no audio. It was one of these games where I had to click on the screen to get the audio. Then the main menu was weird. It didn't look right. Then we got into the game, and then the shadows were all messed up. So I had to put the shadows to low to make them look okay. And there was this French girl talking to me. it's okay. Sometimes she would talk and she would be this little cloud in front of my face, which was like annoyingly close whenever
Yeah.
she would talk. It'd be this weird looking, and maybe it was screwed up. Like maybe the rendering was messed up in one of the eyes. It just didn't look quite right. And I noticed a lot of the textures in this game had that issue too. Did you notice that?
For some reason, the game defaulted a lot of stuff back to low to me, so I don't know if that's what.
Oh, you kept
Maybe
it
it's
at
because you've
low?
got a 40. I turned some stuff up, but like the shadows, I turned up to medium and then immediately noticed that they were broken.
Yeah.
So I turned them to low.
They didn't
Yeah, I
they
mean
didn't make this they
it
didn't
looked
make this for
fine.
VR apparently.
No,
Yeah.
it's a shader issue. Like they've obviously used deferred rendering and they've not tried to fix any of the shaders. But yeah, I mean it looks nice. I thought it's a nice looking game overall.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Uh,
I put DLSS up to quality and then it made it look better. I didn't notice that
yeah,
until like a little bit later in the game.
that's definitely the best option. Because if
Yeah.
you turn anti-aliasing off, it's very shimmery. But if you put that
Yeah.
to DLSS quality mode, it's still a little bit soft, but overall it looks pretty
Yeah.
good. I want to try and see if I can turn super sampling up or something because it could do with being a bit sharper. To
And
be honest.
another graphical issue with this game is like the level of detail, or how do you say LOD? Is that how you say it? Yeah, this has
Yeah,
issues with that where you see a lot of like textures and pop in and stuff as you're walking.
I
Um,
turn the distance. I turn
to
like
the
the view
highest.
thing up to high. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that
me too.
helps.
Yeah. Um, so I found the puzzles pretty hard. Like, I don't know how far you got. Right now,
Not very far.
I'm in a puzzle where I'm in this giant vertical garden room, and I was watching a video of Beardo Benjo, and he quit at the same point. That's where I quit. I was like, this. I know what I need to do, and he said the same thing. I know what I need to do to get through this, but I just don't feel like it. Like it was like really just a pain in the ass, like
Tedious.
tedious. Yeah. Like it was a tedious puzzle where there's multiple vertical columns and they have multiple platforms on them that are oriented differently, and you have to get them like so. And on the wall there's these sockets, and you point the thing you hold on you have in your hand is called an adjunct, and it shoots electricity out at the socket, and then you can interact with puzzles and stuff. So like you turn your wrist left or right, and then maybe turning it left will make all of these columns spin, and so it'll make them all spin, but then they're all aligned differently, and you have to figure out the perfect alignment, and like you have to it's just like you'd have to see it. You'd have to see what I'm talking about to just be like, oh, this is going to be a huge pain in my ass.
Yeah, I didn't get to that bit, but I already know exactly what you're talking about because even just on the early stuff, like it's just so slow. Like
Yeah.
you plug the thing in and then you twist your wrist and then you literally just stood there with your wrist twisted while you watch this thing move really slowly from one place to another, and then you need to raise it up, so then you flick to a different mode and you flick your wrist to a different direction, and then you're watching it go down, and it's like it takes so fucking long
You're
and
talking
it's
about the
just
ice block,
boring.
right? Ice block? Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah,
Yeah. So did you get to a
yeah. It was just
puzzle after the ice block?
no. I went because there's this thing called the Swan where you can go to this hub area, and I was like, oh, what's
Yeah.
this? So then I went to the Swan, and then I went to this other area, but then I realized I probably shouldn't be there yet. So then I had to go back to the Swan, which takes ages, like to get into the thing and wait for it to load, and then walk over to another pod, and then it was just so fucking slow and tedious. Like it just really bored me, honestly. I really
Yeah.
love the Mist game,
Yeah.
but this one, the gameplay loop is just so slow and boring. It's just not fun at all.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of traveling between. So they're all multiple. So you use these spheres basically to teleport you basically to these different areas, and you don't know which one you need to go to. I guess it doesn't matter. I guess you could go to any one of them. And I went to one that had this big ass battery puzzle, and I had no idea what I needed to do there. I mean, I know what they wanted me to do, but I was like, "Are you serious? You want me to flip all of these fucking things. Like it was another tedious puzzle where I was gonna have to just do a bunch of trial. It was that one on the screen right now. So all of those, I would have to go to each one of those and do the socket thing, and then make this big machine turn, and you would have to do that on multiple platforms, and just by sheer luck, it would make them all connect properly to make this battery work. And I
Yeah,
even Googled it, and these
I hate stuff like that.
people online were complaining about it. So then I went to other places. That's how I ended up at that garden place. And the puzzle before the garden, I'm surprised I got through that. It was this one where you had this cart that's on the side of a wall. It's hard to explain even what you had to do without showing you like video or an image of it or something. It was a really nice looking level, at least, but it wasn't fun. It wasn't a fun puzzle at all. And the performance isn't good. That's another thing. I have a 4090 and the performance wasn't good, especially in that garden area I was talking about where I gave up. The performance was terrible there. And I even put it down to low, like low everything, and the performance was still bad. But my
Yeah,
CPU isn't very good. My CPU is an 8700K, so I don't know if that's why. I don't know.
yeah. I think it's just a bit of a miss, this one for me. Like, it reminds me a bit of Abduction, which is
Yeah.
another game by this same, and it just I gave up on that because it's the same thing where you've got all these different worlds, but you're not sure, should I be in this world yet? Should I be going, like, and you have to go like between worlds, and it's just I like puzzle games where you're in an area and you know everything you need is there and you can just
Mm-hmm.
figure it out. And like I like it where puzzle games don't rely on you having to do like tedious like trial and error, and it's more like just figuring out the answer. So like, if you know the answer, you can do it right really quickly.
Yeah.
But you just need to figure out the answer. Whereas if they get these puzzles where it's like you're having to twist knobs and do this thing, like Red Matter was a bit like that, where it was a lot of trial and error, but it wasn't that bad. Whereas this feels like it's just really fucking like hard, and you've got all the trial and error element, which is just it's not my thing. I don't like puzzle games like this.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna go
I'm
back
not
to
going to play
this.
again.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to play it again. I
Yeah.
could have told even from the time I played it. I was just bored. Like the environments looked nice, but it wasn't worth having to struggle through puzzles just to see the rest of the game. It's just not fun.
I hope Riven is a lot better than this.
Well, Riven's apparently a beloved game like Myst, so if I imagine that'll be good because it's just an already they're just remaking an existing game that's already good. So
Okay.
because I thought Myst was really good, I really liked Myst
Yeah.
actually. So maybe like that. Maybe they've just getting worse at these puzzle games because every new one that comes out, I don't think it's. I didn't like Abduction. I don't like this one, but Myst was obviously like their first game, and Riven's the second game. So maybe they've just gradually got worse at making these games over time. I
Yeah,
don't
the
know.
people that made those games are already retired, probably, or dead.
Yeah, and it's just a bunch of other people.
Yeah. All right, next game, Star Wars Galaxy Edge Enhanced Edition.
Yeah, this was on a good sale. In fact, I wonder if it's still on that good sale because it was on a really cheap sale. Let me quickly check.
I played a little bit of this on Quest 3, and when it first started, I was like, "Oh, this is low res." So then I used Quest Games Optimizer and made it high res, so that made it way better.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
only got. I was just saying this while you were looking up the sale. I didn't get very far. It seemed interesting, but I think I got to a point where I got
It's
stuck.
it's still on sale and it ends on the 8th. So there's still a
Okay.
few days. If you listen to this when it gets uploaded, it's 66% off. It's £11 or $13. It's like really cheap on PSVR2 marketplace, Sony store. So if you're interested in this, you've always wanted to try it like I have, then give it a go. Because I played this on the Quest 2 when I got the Quest 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it looked pretty bad. Like it was really basic. Textures were low resolution. Everything just looked bad. But this has been enhanced, as the name suggests. It's been enhanced, so it's got higher quality textures, high resolution, way better lighting. Like they've massively improved the lighting in this game. Like it's got post processing, dynamic shadows. It just looks way better. You can still tell that it's a quest game though. Like there's no like getting away from that. Like there's certain parts where you're outside and you're looking at this like big vista in the background, but you can tell it's just like a 2D image that's like wrapped around you. And some stuff just doesn't look as good as you know it could. But I think it still looks okay. And there's some times where it looks really nice. And it feels a bit old school, like it's an old school blaster, like like an early VR game in a way. Like you're going through these environments, you've got these different blaster guns, you're firing them. The haptics are really good on the PSVR 2. That's another thing that I really noticed. Like the feeling of the guns feels really good in your hands. Like when you're firing these blasters, you can just feel it like pulsing through your hand and the triggers like vibrating and stuff. Yeah, I love that. I love the haptics in the PSVR 2. They're really impressive.
Do you have head haptics in this one?
Yeah, it uses yeah,
okay.
sometimes
So
it'll vibrate
when
and
you
stuff.
get shot or something?
Yeah, there's a bit in the beginning, like this whole opening sequence, and like there's certain parts where it vibrates and stuff. And yeah, they've done a good job with the haptics. The gameplay looks fine. I mean, it's not particularly anything special. Like you're just going down these kind of corridor type environments. It's not very open. You can even tell with the quest as well. Like you'll have like a little area that you can go through, and then you can see like where you're going. But then it'll say, "Do you want to travel to this new location?" It's literally just. It's not even a new location really. You kind of just. It's just loading you in without even trying to hide a loading screen. It's just as it's been set up into small little chunks to work on the quest. So that you'll be walking and then you'll just have to load a new area, which is just the same place you were at, just slightly further forward. So
I hate when that happens.
little things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they'd have just like reworked that side of things because they could definitely have opened that up on the PS5. And there's things as well like they've got teleport, which you have to use loads. Like it pisses me off. Like, they've got all this rough terrain and stuff where it's not flat, and you're having to like use this jetpack, which jetpack sounds cool, but all you do is you press a button, you like just pop up into the air like instantly. It's like a snap turn, but you like just pop up instead of turning.
Oh, so it's not analog?
No, it just like just pop, and you like now you're suddenly high up, and then you'll press it again, and now you're back on the floor again. So you're having to like pop up, teleport across to a ledge, and there's just a lot of that, which just feels really crap. But it looks decent enough, and the gameplay loop's pretty fun. Like the blasters feel fun. I got to a part where you find C-3PO and you have to like find his arms and legs and stuff because he's been like half disassembled and parts of his body have been hidden by these little alien creatures. So you have to go and kill them and get all this stuff and put him back together, and then he talks to you. And now he's in your little workshop and he gives you little missions to do and stuff. It's if you're a Star Wars fan, there's definitely a lot of lore there. There's a lot to like, but it's not the best game ever. But for the price it's at now, it's definitely worth picking up. I think like £11 or $13. It's a no-brainer for the PSVR 2. I think. So yeah, I get it if you like Star Wars, and on this sale, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Are you still playing Resident Evil 4 and Horizon? Call them
Yeah,
out.
still not finished them as well.
Okay.
So I think another thing with the Star Wars game, apparently, what I've heard is that it was another one like Jurassic World, where it was like 2 parts originally. Like they released the first part and then they released the second part. And apparently the second part's like way better than the first part. So I'm still playing the first part at the moment. So I'm hoping that when I get to these later missions that they've because they obviously released it and took a lot of feedback and then made the second part and improved on it a lot. So yeah, but like there's apparently those little side missions where you meet Yoda and stuff. So yeah, and I think it's something like 8 hours or something, 8 to 10 hours. It's a decent length game. But for the money, I'm really enjoying my PSVR 2. Honestly, I play more stuff on PSVR 2 than I do PC at the moment. Like I just really like the games and I like the headset. I think other than the lenses, I think that it looks nice. It's got the HDR. OLED screens. I really like the haptics on the controllers. It's just, I think the PSVR 2 is a good headset. I really do. I think it's. I have no problem going back to it from using the Quest 3. I don't think it's as bad as some people say.
Okay. You go to the next one.
Yep.
All right. So because there haven't been many games coming out lately, I went back. I've been going back to old games, so I went back to Pixel Ripped 1978, and I beat it. This was a game I talked about previously where I was just getting frustrated with it because you're sitting at this desk. You're this programmer girl named, I don't remember what her name is. Maybe I can't remember now. But you're sitting at the desk and these coworkers are coming up to you and bothering you, and if you don't do what they say, they turn off your monitor. Oh, Bug. That's what your name is, Bug. I think. And the phone will ring. The phone keeps ringing, and you have to answer it, or it won't stop ringing. And I would just, and then if you're watching the video now, you'll see there are these first person levels that I got stuck in it. I didn't. That was what happened. I didn't know what to do. So you switch between these different beams that you can shoot, and like one will make these blocks go away, and this other beam will kill enemies. So I did the beam that transformed these blocks that were in the way, they were a barrier. It transformed them into like another type of block. And then I was like, I don't know. Okay, so I still can't get through here. Well, I had to ask on the Steam discussions to get someone to tell me what you had to do. So what you had to do is you had to get a melee weapon and hit the blocks, and that would make the blocks go out of the way. I had no idea. I don't think the game tells you that. So then I got further in the game. Let me see. Let me get my notes up. So a lot of this game, you're sitting at a desk playing a side-scrolling platformer. And I love platformers, but sitting there in VR playing a platformer on a 2D monitor is just not fun to me. And also, you're using an analog stick. You would really want a D-pad. It's just like, I don't know, it's not that fun. But there are times where it'll turn into like a 3D. If you've played the Pixel Rip games, there will be times where it turns into this 3D thing, that like a massive 3D game platformer, and that I love. So you have to get through the suffering and the pain of these first person shooter levels and this 2D platformer levels to have this 3D platformer, or sometimes it was like a 3D like Breakout type of game or some other type of game that if I could just play those parts of the game, I would love it. I wish they would do more of that stuff. So another thing I got stuck at, there's a place where so in the platforming game, I kept playing the same level over and over, trying to is there something I'm missing? Because I couldn't figure out what I needed to do to get farther in the game. It turned out in the FPS world, I had to go over and make a building fall over, which I did. But then I had to go back into the platformer, and then instead of going to the right, like this is the platformer on the screen right here. Instead of going to the right, which is where all the levels are, you had to go to the left and go to a totally different screen that you never would have gone to before. But the game doesn't tell you that. I had to, somebody on Steam discussions had to tell me that to go left. So that was frustrating. There was a Dungeons and Dragons level that was pretty cool. So each FPS level had its own different theme, and the Dungeons and Dragons one was I think the final FPS level theme, and that was a lot more interesting than previous ones. I guess that's all I have to say. This is definitely the worst of the three. So there's Pixel Rip 1978, Pixel Rip 1989, and Pixel Rip 1995. I would say 95 is probably the best, then 89, then this one. I mean, I would only recommend this if you really like the other two, and maybe you have because this is Atari themed. Maybe you have nostalgia for Atari. I didn't have an Atari growing up, so I don't really have nostalgia for it. I don't think I have anything else to say about it. Do you have any questions?
No, I never enjoyed the other two, so this was definitely a no for
God,
me.
you didn't enjoy them? Wow.
I don't really like retro stuff, so if you
Yeah,
don't like retro stuff, then
you don't like platformers. Wow. Wow.
I
All
like
right.
modern platforms like Orium, The Blind Forest, and stuff like that. But
Yeah, that is a platformer. Yeah.
the
All right.
and I mean, I played 1995. Was it which one? Yeah, the one that was like Sega Mega Drive and all that sort of
Yeah.
era. I found the little games. They were just like really basic, average.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to like emulate Sonic and stuff like that. But I'd rather just play Sonic. You know what I mean? It was the
Well,
VR-ness wasn't enough to put up
mhm.
with having to play like a mediocre version of an old game.
Yeah, but when I've already beaten every Sonic game and already beaten all those other games, that's when I'd rather play a new game.
Yeah.
I don't know. And what about did you get to play any of the cool things where it's not just a 2D platformer where it's three-dimensional? Like, did you get to do
Yeah,
any of that stuff?
I liked the stuff where I liked it where they did like bring in there was certain things that there was one where you were in 1995 where you were like a Castlevania style
Yeah.
level, and I liked how they had like if you stepped on certain elements in the game world, that would trigger your mum to then come and like tell you to turn the game off, like
Yeah.
so you having to
That
like
was on
be
a 2D
aware.
screen though.
Yeah, and I liked the final boss of that as well, where you were like had your hand was the ship, and you were having to like fly around like what's that Nintendo game? Something
Star
Fox.
Fox?
Yeah, that was like Star Fox, but like in
Yeah.
VR. I think they based that. Didn't they base an entire game based on that? Like Yuki something. What was it called?
Oh, you think
Based,
Yuki was based on that level?
I think so. Yeah,
It
because you
is. I mean,
literally like
it's the same developer. Yeah.
it's the same thing. It was you literally control the ship with your hand, so that your hand is literally like flying the ship around, like as if you've got a hand
Yeah.
playing with a pretend little airplane. It was
Yeah,
cool. I liked
I
that
was a
level.
playtester for Yuki. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I know. What did you think to that?
I liked it, but I got sick of it by by the
Well,
time I
because
was
you were
done with
playing
it.
it all the time.
I did multiple
Yeah.
playtest rounds. Yeah. Yeah, I got tired of it. Uh, but yeah, I liked Yuki. Yeah. I don't know how well it did.
No.
I don't know. You want to go to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Subside Demo. We both played this. Lots of YouTubers have done videos of this. Do you wanna talk first?
Um. Yeah, I didn't really play much of this, but
Oh, okay.
it's very pretty. It's pretty. I will say that.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
So I went around and
I think
I
go on.
collected everything I could find. I don't know if you tried to do that.
I was struggling with the controls because like the game, if you don't know what it is, you literally like it's like a swimming thing, like it's not scuba, it's like snorkeling, I guess. Uh, and yeah, you just like you use your hands to swim. But I found like I was trying to like, for example, if I wanted to like go down, like I'd put my hands up in the air, and then if I needed to go down again, I'd try and like circle my hands around. I was trying to like keep my hands, but then I would always like accidentally trigger, so then my hands were effectively pushing me back up again. And I just kept finding this because like you have in this tutorial where you've got to go through these hoops underwater, and I
Mhm.
was just finding it really finicky to like get myself in the right position and swim through the hoops. And I don't know, I was struggling with the controls. I prefer it in like
Trying
triton
down.
down. I prefer it where
Yeah.
yeah, I prefer it when you like, have to have the trigger to like activate when you want to swim, so you can move your hands around as much as you want. It don't affect you, and then when you want to swim, you press the triggers or whatever it was, and then you can like move. I'd rather them at least give an option for that because I know some people like purists who want it to feel exactly like it would be in real life. But for me, I'd like a bit more of an arcadey version where you can kind of like just choose when you want to swim rather than like your hands constantly affecting
Yeah.
your every
Yeah.
movement.
Yeah, I prefer the button press too. What I found was I just needed to move my hand slowly when I didn't want it to register movement. Then I would move them fast when I just I just did my hands like I was swimming and I knocked a bunch of shit over. God damn it. All right. So I just moved my hands fast when I wanted to like go forward and then like slowly when I, you know, wasn't trying to affect my position or whatever. But this video I have here, this isn't in the demo. Like he sees a cliffside, so maybe this is a level that you don't get to play in the demo. In the demo, it's a way shallower area, and
Yeah.
like if you look straight up, you just see like a giant light. Like I don't know
So
if it's
what
supposed
is
to.
the? So all you're doing is what are you doing in this? Are you just literally just
In the
collecting stuff
demo, all
underwater?
you do is you just. I was collecting gold coins and finding little floppy disks, and once I found with the coins, you could buy things in a shop. So like you could buy weights that would help you stay down lower toward the bottom, and yeah, I could buy fins. With the fins, I think you didn't even have to swim. You could just like use your analog stick to to go around. So if you found
Right.
enough coins, you could buy those. And I found a key and I opened a lockbox. And I think what that did was like I think it said then like you've unlocked a new level. But if you go to the main menu because it was the demo, I didn't actually unlock a new level. I mean, I could see a level sitting there, but it was like not accessible. There was a great white shark cage, and then there was some other level. They were both locked or something.
Yeah, I'm curious. I really like the like visually. It looks so good. Like I was
Yeah,
really impressed with how the water looks really impressive. It looks just like real water and like with the way that they've done the shaders and everything. It looks really good.
the particles and the lighting. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just really well done. I just hope that there's more to it than just pretty looking water because uh, I want some sort of gameplay loop that's fun and that's interesting. Because
I
I feel
think
like
it's
this is
only
going to end up just being like,
I think it's only one
yeah,
developer, so I'm betting it's just going to
yeah.
be pretty water.
I feel like this is going to be another kayak mirage where it's just like kind of it's really pretty and like it's cool to be in it, but there's nothing really there to keep me coming back and keep playing it. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
All right. I'm gonna go to Little Nightmares UEVR. This is another game I went back to and beat because I'd only played a
Oh,
little bit
did you
of. Let
like
me
it?
see. Oh yeah, it was. Holy shit! It was dark, like
Yeah, yeah, it's really
dark,
cool.
dark
The twists,
emotionally.
it turns. Yeah,
Yeah,
it really gets to you, doesn't it?
yeah. It's anti Tin Hearts and anti Max Mustard. This game.
Yeah, because you look at it and it's like this cute little girl that you're walking around and
It's
stuff.
a girl. I thought it was a
And
boy. I didn't know.
yes, a girl called
Oh,
Sigs.
oh,
There's a whole lore behind this game. Like people love the story to this game.
okay.
But yeah, there's just it just gets so dark and twisted, and there's stuff I don't want to spoil that happens. That like when it happens in the game, you're like, holy shit, what the fuck? It's like you just don't expect it to happen, and like the
Mm-hmm.
ending is really good. Uh, there's this guy in there that's so fucking creepy, like the guy with the really long arms. I
The
found him
long
like
arm guy.
creepy.
That's the first. Yeah, the first bad guy you deal with. Yeah,
He's like blind. I think is he blind? He's got like blindfold on or something.
yeah. I think so.
But he's got these really like long, like ridiculously long, stretched out arms, and he's like
Yeah.
trying to like fumble around and find you and stuff, and it's just really creepy. And he's doing like this deep breathing like as he walks around and stuff. It's just really creepy. He was like, yeah, because I've played this in 3D with VR for the first time, and it really was like, shit, this is really creepy. It wasn't scary, but it's just like really kind of creepy when you're playing through it. And there's some scenes as well, like when there's a scene where all these big fat fuckers are like chasing after you and stuff, and
Yeah,
it's like,
that's just
oh my god, that's fucking horrible. Yeah, it's
yeah.
like really tense.
I wondered if they were trying to like say something about society and all the fat fucks that won't stop eating
Maybe,
or something. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. There's like
And
this gluttony kind of backtrack to it, where there's like all these people that come onto this. I don't know if I should spoil too much, but yeah, I won't say what affected that last part, but yeah, there's these all these fat fuckers come on and they're like there's stuff in the face, and if they see you, they just want to eat you. Like they don't care. They just like they'll just chase you and just eat you, and like, it's just really
And the whole
because
time
you're
they're
like
making
this
all
tiny
these,
little girl.
they're making all
Yeah,
these gross sounds like the whole time, and
yeah, it's really fucking fucked up.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not cutesy at all. It's like the
not at
opposite of
all.
Astrobot. It's like
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Uh,
You need to play the
so
second one. The second one is also really good, and it's gotten a really good
did you
ending as
did
well.
you beat? Oh, you beat it. Okay. Yeah, I need to do the
Yeah,
second one. I think the second one's longer.
yeah,
Honestly.
and you get like a little companion that you play with, and like the story, and that's so they really do an amazing job with the stories of these as well. Like the way the twists and stuff that they add to it, and like the ending of the second one again, it's just like really fucking good. That's like
Hmm.
it's just one of
Okay.
them games that sticks with you. Um, yeah, and they're bringing a third one out as well, which is made by a different developer, which worries me a little bit. But that's going to have co-op as well, so that'll be pretty
Oh,
fun to
okay.
play.
So some minor criticism is this is a game where you go in a room and you mess with things until you figure out how to get out. But then once like that long arm Freddy guy, once you first deal with him, it's kind of like you have to. I don't know. Maybe you didn't have to. I had to repeat that scene over and over and over again to finally get through it. Did you? Did you? The
Oh,
long arm. When
with
I
the
say Freddy,
elevator,
he reminds me of Freddy Krueger, the long arm guy.
when you're in the elevator.
Elevator. I don't
You
know.
mean when you actually? You mean when you actually
The
finally get
long
rid
arm
of him?
guy. Just
Yeah.
dealing with him at all. I had to
Oh,
I had to
yeah.
redo it a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot of people complained about how trial and error this game is. And
Yeah.
for some reason, I didn't find that too much with the first one, but I did find the second one is more like that. Like there were some sections in the second one I had to redo fucking like, God knows how many times. To the
Okay.
point where it was kind of ruining the game a little bit for me. But
Mm-hmm.
I just love the atmosphere and like the overall theming of this game. It just looks like the art direction and the story. It just speaks to me. I don't know what it is, but I just really enjoyed. Even it is a bit flawed with the way that sometimes you do. Like it can be so time sensitive where you really have to do things quickly,
Perfectly.
and if
Yeah.
you're like even just a second too slow or just like fumble, like you'll have to redo it again because you're gonna die. So yeah, there
That's
are
like
sections like that.
that's like Out of This World or Another World in the UK. It was probably called Another World. Did you ever play that?
Yeah.
But
No, I've heard about it, but I'm not.
that's the type of game where you have to do time things perfectly or you're dead. This game's similar to that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that sort of game. If it wasn't for the overall everything else about it, then I
Yeah.
probably would have not liked it. But it's just such a good
Yeah.
game overall, I think.
Yeah, most of this game is exploration, and then there's just some places where, yeah, you have to be like really perfect with your timing and your platforming. Um, so yeah, I
How was
recommend it.
the VR? How did you find it in VR? Did it work pretty well
Oh
with
yeah, there's
with
no. I
UEVR?
mean, all I had to do was I just load. I didn't do a profile or anything. I just loaded it, and then I just zoomed in. Like I used whatever the control. What do you hold? Trigger, and then you zoom in. I can't remember.
Yeah, you just trigger you and then use the thumbstick, and you can
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
UEVR menu open, you press trigger and thumbstick, and you can move the camera around. So
yeah. That's all I changed. Oh, there was okay. At one point, I realized, I should change the what's when the view when they make the view blurry in the background, whatever that's
oh,
called.
depth of field.
Depth of field.
Yeah.
I turned that off
Yeah, that's in
because
the second one as well. You'll probably want to
okay,
turn that off in the second one.
okay. It wasn't like a critical thing. It was just like there were some scenes where it was blurry in the background, and I was wondering, I wonder if I can change that, and then I changed it, and then I could see what was back there better. But
Yeah.
it was just for looks. It wasn't like it didn't affect the gameplay or anything.
Yeah. Another
All right.
game
Hmm?
actually that I've just thought about, which you might want to play. Have you ever played Unravel?
I played that on PS4 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another good like little platform. It's not obviously dark or anything, but and there's the second game as well. That's really cool. Like a game you can play in
But
co-op.
That's not UEVR, is it?
They run Unreal Engine, so in
Oh, they
theory
are.
you should be able to play them. But I
Oh,
played them. You can play them with Vorpex as well. Vorpex actually works really well with those games. But yeah, they are Unreal Engine, so they should work with. Unless
oh.
they're Unreal
Well,
Engine
they might
3,
be
but I don't
3
know.
or something. I don't know. All
But they're
right.
good. They're good games. Yeah, thought I'd mention them.
I don't. I might have played it on PS3 even. Like it might be really old. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be an Unreal Engine 3 one though.
All right, next game. Cold
Yep.
VR demo. We both played this, right? Didn't you
Yeah,
play this?
unfortunately,
Unfortunately.
I feel bad because the developer might actually listen to this because he did message me a lot, like wanting me to play this and make a video
Mm-hmm.
for this game, but I just didn't like it, unfortunately. Uh, it's basically trying to be super hot, but like the opposite of super hot. So you can move around, like with super hot, obviously it was all room scale, whereas this you can use the thumbstick. And with super hot, obviously, like time only moved when you moved. So like if you stood still, like you could move your head around, but if you like kept your body still and kept your hands still, you could like assess the situation, and like, it was a really cool gameplay loop. Whereas with this, they tried to do the opposite. So if you stay still, then time moves at normal speed. So you have to move to slow time down, but it's not room scale movement because I tried. Like if you move your hands around, it doesn't work. It's only from the thumbstick. So literally, all you have to do is just like keep moving the thumbstick. Like you just like circling around with the thumbstick constantly, just to keep yourself in slow mo, while you like move around and shoot all these bad guys. And it just, yeah, I just didn't find it particularly that fun, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and when it first started, also okay, there's an intro, and then I was just trying out different buttons. If you press one of the buttons, it takes you to this menu where you pick your level. So like, so I was watching videos of people online, and I was like, wait, all these people are in some scene that I never saw. Well, that's because you need to not press that button, and then let the whole intro play out. In the intro, there'll be like these full motion video segments, which they remind me of like Sega CD or Mega CD games. So
Yeah,
I kind of
they were
like
good
that part.
actually.
Yeah, I don't know if that
I
was the
was there was
developer.
really good. Yeah, I think it probably is. But I will say that the production value of like those videos were actually really good. I was
Yeah,
really impressed with that.
yeah. But then the game, once you start the game, first of all, it was blurry. Like I was like, all right, there's like too much TAA or something. It looked blurry for me. Um, then like I don't. Did you go to level 1? Like I went through all the intro crap and then I went to level 1. And level 1, like I couldn't. It was hard because you'd have like a sword, and then all these guys would have guns, and so I would be moving left and right so that they would shoot, and then I'd walk up to them, and a lot of times I couldn't kill them all before the next guy shot me. Um, I just got frustrated with it, and then sometimes when you have a gun, well, since you need to keep moving, like it's not very easy to line up a shot while you're constantly moving all the time, which also makes this kind of hard
Yeah,
to play. And also, oh, the
yeah,
gun
because
angle was
you had
bad. The gun angle also.
the guns didn't feel that satisfying. Like when you
Yeah.
like with Super Hot, when you kill someone, that the way that they shatter and everything looked really cool.
Yeah.
I think he's tried to emulate that, but it's just doesn't feel that
No.
great. I don't know. There's just something. There's just little details that are missing from it. But I mean, my main problem is just the fact that the whole gameplay loop is around you basically just constantly moving the thumbstick so that you
Yeah.
stay in slow motion, which it just seems like a really flawed idea.
I'll bet the Super Hot devs tried that and they decided, nah, this isn't gonna work.
I feel
Probably.
like if
Mhm.
if it was tied to room scale, maybe, but even then you'd be constantly just
You
having to
just
like
be
move your hands
dancing the whole
constantly.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't see how it could ever really be that much fun. Like Super Hot
Yeah.
worked so well because you had to like stay still and like think about your next move, and then you'd reach and grab a gun and like it just worked so well. But when you switch it to the opposite, it just doesn't work because you literally just end up just constantly moving around like. And like I say, it's not even tied to your room scale. It's tied to your thumbsticks, all you're just doing is just constantly moving the thumbstick around just to stay in slow motion so you don't die. It's just it's just not got quite. It's not quite got that feeling of super hot. It doesn't work in reverse, in my opinion.
Another thing about Melee, I found that you can actually like stick your fist out and just walk into people and it'll kill them, or stick a blade out and just walk into them and it kills them. You don't even have to swing it.
Yeah.
Because I tested it. But once people have a gun and you only have a melee weapon, it's really tough to stay alive. Let me go see if this person went to stage 1. I think they're still in the intro here. No, this is once you're in stage 1. So you have a melee weapon and these guys have guns. And I found this is really frustrating because you'll kill the first 2, and by the time you get to the third guy, he's gonna shoot you. I got past this part, but then I got to another part where you have 3 guys, you take them out, and then like behind you, 2 guys materialize out of nowhere, and it just got really frustrating. And that's when I just said, "All right, I'm done with this." And
I feel like on paper it sounds like a good concept, but
they fire pretty fast. So like even though you're moving, this is the part where I was like, all right, this is annoying. If you're watching,
I feel like you could probably tweak that. Yeah,
yeah.
you could probably tweak this stuff, like if you made them fire less frequently or something, or you could definitely fix the difficulty issues. It's just I just don't know if it's going to be fun overall.
You can see that
I think I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah. I don't know. You can see in the video that guy let the guy shoot, and then he went up to shoot them, and then he just still got shot. So that was the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got potential, but I just don't know. I'm trying to even think of a way that you could because I feel like it's not bad. I mean, there's a good amount of polish there. I feel like overall, like the environments look okay. Like it's not a really bad game. It's just I just don't know if the gameplay loop works of you like constantly being moving around. I don't know. I don't know how we could fix that though.
And maybe give the enemies a better indication that they're about to shoot. Like maybe they change color or they're something. Because
I feel like he needs to find a way to make it so that you kind of have to dodge them. Do you know, like if he could find a way for like you have to use room scale to dodge the bullets or something. So like, I feel like that would work really well. Like if they fire in and then you have to like physically move your body to dodge the bullets somehow, like force the player to have to do that. So it's not just thumbstick. I feel like that would work really well. But as it is now, with how it's like just thumbstick, tied to thumbstick, it just doesn't quite work for me.
Yeah.
I think it needs something with the room scale. Like, it needs something. I think it's something there, maybe. It just doesn't quite work now as it is.
All right, we'll go to the next one. Crash Bandicoot 4 UEVR. I haven't beaten this. I've just been playing it. This isn't my
It's a really good game.
Yeah, it's a good game. Yeah. Still, I would much rather play Max Mustard than this.
Really?
Definitely. Way more. Yeah. Yeah, way more.
Interesting.
Yeah. This
definitely need to play Max Mustard then.
Yeah. I like it, but I didn't have a PlayStation 1, so I didn't play Crash Bandicoot. But this is way more linear.
Yeah.
Than like Max Mustard, it's kind of linear too, but not as linear as this. In this game, a lot of the levels, unless you find like a special item, it's a one-hit kill. So this game's pretty hard, which is okay.
Yeah.
But you'll get
Crash Bandicoots are all hard games.
They're all hard? Okay. You'll get frustrated in some of the levels. I don't like the controls much. The main issue is, let me find it in my notes. The double jump. So when you double jump on the second jump, he slows down. Did you notice that? It drove me nuts.
I think this is one of those games that a lot of people complain about how floaty the controls feel.
Uh-huh.
It's not it's a weird. I do enjoy it, but it's not. I feel like the controls aren't quite as precise as you'd probably want for a platformer that's difficult. You really want to be able to be precise with your movement.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can feel like a bit tricky to land exactly where you want and stuff. Like there's a
That's always
little bit.
been my issue with third person 3D games is I've never felt
Yeah,
like I've had great control. That's why I haven't liked those Spider-Man games and the Batman Arkham type games.
yeah.
Um, I just I don't know if it's an analog stick thing for me.
I think it's a great game though. You just have to like the Crash Bandicoot games because if you don't, then you're just not going to like this because, like I say, it still feels like a Crash Bandicoot
I'll
game.
keep playing it. Uh, so
I think it's fun. I do think it's fun.
when
Yeah,
I say I like Max Mustard more, that doesn't mean I don't like this. That just means Max Mustard is that good, I think.
yeah. Which that's to me that's really high praise for Max Mustard. So
Yeah.
it makes me
Just
want
looks
to play
better
it a lot.
graphically, but
Yeah,
but I mean, I found a lot of the textures didn't look right because, because this isn't made for VR, some of the textures wouldn't look right in one eye, like especially the water is messed up looking.
yeah,
And so like it would be like blue in one eye and green in the other eye. And then just some of the textures looked weird, probably because of uh, AO. I can't
yeah.
remember right
Ambient
now.
occlusion.
Ambient occlusion. Yeah, so I think maybe it's an ambient occlusion thing. I'm not sure. But that's something I notice a lot with UEVR games. Like because the game wasn't made for VR, there's going to be textures that just don't look right.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, that double jump issue. So you'll jump, and then when you do the jump again, he slows down. He doesn't maintain the same speed. Like if you're holding right, he slows down, and yeah, I died. Like he just died just now on in the video if you're watching on YouTube, and yeah, I did a lot of that. But yeah, I
yeah,
want to keep playing it.
yeah. This game is definitely not easy. But like it just looks great. I think it looks great in VR. It's one of those like other than the little issues like you say with some stuff. Overall, it really works well. Just like out of the box, you don't have to like mess with
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. And
Oh, and this
like
is
you
a game where you
surprisingly
need. Sorry, you can go
go
ahead.
on.
Oh, this is a game where you
I was just
need to
gonna say,
use. It's just so you guys know, we have a delay because he's in the UK and I'm in the US. So sometimes we'll
you
have.
go,
Yeah, okay,
you
I'll
go.
go. So you need to use a gamepad in this. Some games, some UEVR games, I just use my Quest controllers and that's fine. But for this one, that won't work because there are buttons you need to be able to press like while using your left analog stick. So that's why you definitely need to use a gamepad for this. Like Little Nightmares, I played with my Quest 3 controllers with no problem because that doesn't have
Yeah,
many buttons.
I always just use a gamepad.
Yeah.
I'm not
All right.
bothered like trying to remember which buttons which side, and it always feels
Yeah.
a bit awkward.
Okay.
Yeah,
I kind of like having my arms spread out, is why I like it.
it can be nice to like have your hands next to your like either side of your legs,
Yeah.
like rather than having them together. But I've just been playing. I think because I've always been a console gamer for so long, like for me, gamepads just feel so natural. I don't have to think about
Mhm.
without any issues. Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, it works with both. I always just plug in a gamepad for these sorts of games.
But then I like using the VR menu with VR controllers a lot more than I like it with the gamepad. So that's my issue
Yeah, but
also.
you could just have a controller next to you, just pick it up and
Yeah, that's what I do.
yeah.
But that's another extra step, you know,
Yeah.
switching between the two. The next one, Tin Hearts. I have put 6 hours into this game.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's
Uh,
interesting.
yeah,
Did
because
it get to
last
you?
last episode
Did it hit you
you
in the
talked
field?
about it. Did it what?
Yeah. Did it hit you in the field?
Oh, a little
Did it make?
bit.
Yeah.
It, it's. I'll tell you why. Wait, let me get. So every time I click on these things, my notes go away because my notes are like a Google Doc. But
Yeah.
you can't have two monitors open for some reason in a virtual desktop. I would like to have two monitors, but from what I hear, you can only do one monitor. So like
Yeah, you can only do one.
Yeah. So, first of all, it wouldn't start in VR. I had to go into I had to go to the properties of the game in Steam, and there's a drop down to make it start in VR. Why? I have no idea. Then I couldn't start it in virtual desktop. That's where I like to start games from. But what I had to do to make it work is start it in Steam VR and use Steam VR's menu. Because nowadays I just avoid Steam VR totally, and I just prefer to load games straight from virtual desktop. But so I had to do that, and the graphics are surprisingly great. Like they're way better than
Yeah, it
this
looks great.
video. Yeah, it looks
In VR, it
awesome.
looks really nice.
I
Yeah.
I was like, these are some of the best graphics I've ever seen. I
Yeah, it's really
think
nice.
like it's really detailed. There's just all these little details on these things. I'm not talking about on the soldiers. Forget the soldiers. I'm talking about the environment. You can just walk. Like I spent a bunch of time just walking around looking at the environment, just looking at every little thing and all the detail on it. Like before I'm even playing the level, I'm just walking around, just going like, "Damn, look at that! Look at that!" You know, at all these little things. So, but the controls are a little annoying. You said you played this standing. I was playing it seated, and there's no way to change the controls in the game, but you have to use button presses to turn, not the analog, like not the right analog stick. I don't know why they mapped it that way.
It's because you've got certain characters that you can control
But
later on in the
you,
game,
but you don't have to
and you have
control
to use.
them with the analog stick. They could have made it so the buttons can, you know, like the right
I don't
analog
know.
stick. Well, okay, when you control that little soldier, you use the left analog stick. You
Do
don't
you?
use
I
the
thought
right.
you used
You
the
don't.
right one.
No, no, no. You can use the right analog stick while you're controlling a soldier to move yourself around. That's what I was doing.
Oh,
And the left
okay.
analog stick controlled the soldier once you're controlling the soldier. And you press grip to stop controlling the soldier, and then the left stick then controls you. The way they have the
Right.
right analog stick mapped is that it rotates the blocks.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But
Yeah, you
they
need
could have
that.
just made it so the button presses rotate the blocks. They didn't need to make it the right analog stick.
True.
And there's no way to change it in the game. People are saying to change it in the Steam VR input mappings, which I haven't done because I feel like at this point, 6 hours in, if I change it, I'm probably just going to be more screwed up. You know, because I'm already used to pressing the buttons to
Yeah.
turn. So yeah, there's no
I
controller or
used.
graphic options in the game, which is surprising. And the goal is to get these soldiers from the starting box to a little doorway. And as you keep progressing, you keep getting new mechanics. Like there will be fans that can blow them, and then the soldiers can be hanging on balloons. And then there will be little enemies that can kill the soldiers. And as Alex said, there will be points where some of the soldiers you can control. It's weird. They go into this little hut, and then this girl pulls you in, and it seems like they're having sex. Like the whole hut is like shaking. It's like don't come a knocking when the huts are rocking. And then she comes out and like kisses the guy, and then he jumps down, and then you can control him now that he's gotten laid.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other things? There'll be like drums that they can bounce on, and then you can change the direction that the drums face so that you could have them bounce in specific directions. All sorts of things. Right now, I'm in the basement, so I'm on level like 31 or 32, and I think there are 50 levels. Where are you in the game?
Yeah, I'm not. I got just past the part where you can control the
Okay.
soldier with the. So I've not got really far in it. I've just had loads of other stuff to play, but yeah, from what I've seen, like there's quite a lot of content in this game. There's a lot, a different variety in levels and environments and stuff.
And there's nice music. And a lot of it is like instrumental, and a lot of it is violin because the mom in this
Yeah.
game plays the violin. And God, it's a lot of times it makes me feel sad. Like the game isn't sad, but like the music can make me feel sad. I don't know. I guess that didn't happen to you.
don't know. It's just got like a really kind of, I don't know. It's just got this vibe to it, which just makes you a bit melancholy, I guess. Yeah, it's like it is kind of like that's why it's just got this atmosphere to it where it's just I feel like something sad's gonna happen, or maybe something's happened, or I don't know. But
Well,
yeah,
something bad does happen. I won't say what. And
right.
but where I am in the game, I still don't know the outcome of that. So like I want to keep playing to find out what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, I thought the
Um
story was pretty good actually. It keeps you interested because
yeah.
like there's this backstory going on with this toy manufacturer who's trying to get this guy to make toys for them, and there's a family like arc to it with the daughter and the wife and stuff. It's like a really, it's a nice like atmosphere and cool game. But yeah, I can always tell that something's bad's gonna happen just with the way that the vibes that's going on in the background.
I was kind of getting tired of the family being all happy. This intact family that's all happy because I don't have that
Yeah,
anymore. So I was kind of like, "All
yeah.
right, enough of this shit." And so
Someone needs to
one
die.
exactly. So once something bad happens in the game, I was like, all right, well, enough. At least I'm not gonna have any more of this happy family shit. You know, raining on my fucking parade. But I don't know. There might be a happy ending. It's like something bad happens, but it's like unclear what the outcome will be.
Well, they can't leave it with tragedy,
Yeah,
so they're gonna have
yeah,
to find some way to make it happy again.
yeah. Um, so I guess that's it. I'll be playing more
Yeah,
of
I
that.
recommend this though. Like I said last
Definitely.
time, I think it's great.
It and it's like so some of the textures like okay, there's a scene where you're outside. That was really cool, I thought. The outside backyard scene. That took me a while to figure out. And actually, I got really far in that outside. Have you gotten to the outside one?
No, I'm just in the
Okay.
music
Well,
room bit. Like,
okay, well, it might be the next level for you. It's really cool and it's long. So I got really far in it, like almost in the end of it, and then I was like, "Oh shit, I got to go to bed." So I quit, and then I came back to it and it was back to the beginning. I was like, "Fuck." So you have to beat the whole level for it to
yeah,
save. Yeah.
but I guess if you know how to do it, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
just
it's not too bad.
quickly catch up.
Yeah. All right. So the next one, Psycho. This was a
Psycho.
this is on Steam. It was a playtest. I don't know if it's still available. It's spelled Psyko. So this
Cool.
looks like Runner. Runner was a VR game that came out on Quest. It still has a Steam page. It still says coming soon. Uh, I like the look of this. It has like a retro look, and you're riding on a motorcycle, and you're killing guys. It's fun. You steer though in this playtest at least. You steered by leaning your body physically. There's no other type of turn. I asked the dev if he could add like a turn where with the handlebars, and he said he tried that and he didn't like it. That he got tired of holding his hands out. Which or he
Yeah.
said he was going to add the analog stick. Like what to turn? What would you prefer, Alex, in a game like this?
Um, I think. Have you ever played what's it called? V Racer Hoverbike. What is it
I think
called?
I think I did, but I don't remember. That was physically leaning, wasn't it?
It was like a combination. Like you have your
Okay.
hands, because the way I played that was like I'd have my hands like resting on my legs, leaning forward,
Mm-hmm.
but then you'd also kind of have to lean with your body as well. It was, yeah, I thought that was quite a good mix. Thought that worked
Okay.
quite well. So that's the method I would go with.
Okay. So this had guys on bikes you'd have to kill, and then there'd be little I don't know generators or whatever that shoot lasers out. You'd have to shoot those out before you drove through them. And there were boss battles. I can't remember. Maybe it was a helicopter. I think it was a helicopter I had to fight. And this is all free playtest. But one thing, when you're going really fast and you run into the back of a car, nothing happens to you. I asked him about that, and he said he's going to add that in. Oh, there's the helicopter in the video. He was going to make it so that, I guess, if you hit it hard, maybe you die or maybe you take damage or something. But yeah, I thought it was cool. It's very indie.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so because I played this, then I was like, well, let me try out Runner. So I played this demo. It was timed. It was like, it only made me let me play like 15 minutes or something of the Runner demo. And that game, was pretty impressive visually. And there was a lot of mechanics in it. I did this tutorial that probably took up most of the time of that demo. And I was like, God damn, that's a lot of shit to remember. I mean, I can't even remember what all of it was, but you have like grenades and you have a gun and you have a sword and you have different sides of your motorcycle. And it was like, I don't know, all this shit to remember. And whereas like this game's way more basic. But in Runner, you use your analog stick to turn, which I don't really like that.
No.
Much. So I'll go to the next one. I think you're out of stuff to talk about, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. All right. Broken Edge. This was in that Humble Bundle that came with Firmament, a $20 Humble Bundle. I was curious about this game, but never really, because I don't really like the art style, this pastel art style. It's by Trebuchet, and they tend to make some pastel art style games. They made Wind and Leaves.
All right.
This is weird. Oh, the first thing I thought, it was very striking to me how crisp the visuals were in the headset. It was like, whoa, there was no aliasing at all. It was like, so the edges of everything were so crisp and clean. So that was the first thing that stood out to me. And then they went through the tutorial, and I was like pretty confused. It has a weird, the combat's weird. You have a sword, and your goal is to hit your opponent's sword, but you want to use like the very tip of your sword, and you want to hit his sword like near the hilt. And you have to do this multiple times. And then if you've done it enough, you can then you can hit your opponent and kill him. It's really weird. I don't understand it. I'm sure somebody listening maybe has played this more and could explain it. But there's all these different classes you can play as. Like they're showing here, there's like knight and there's a ronin and there's a barbarian but I don't know. I don't really get it. But it has good reviews on Steam. Maybe I just didn't give it enough time. But I was getting my ass kicked. No, I was playing against the computer. I didn't play against a human. Shit, I would get destroyed. But the computer destroyed me too. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
So next one, Bomber Drone. This is an MR.
Well, I played this as well. I forgot about this.
So I'm in my gym here playing this. I was recording this video hoping to make a video for my channel, but the game's audio completely drowned out my voice, so I never did it. So what was interesting about this is, so I have a big ass mirror in my gym, and what ended up happening was a bunch of the enemies were getting spawned inside my mirror, like they were in another room. It's really weird. I thought that was cool. Anyway, this bomber drone thing.
Could you still fly and hit them though?
Yeah, I could fly into the mirror and kill them.
Cool.
It's really weird. Maybe. So what you do, you control this drone. You have, with both of your joysticks. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see in your left hand, you're holding this screen, and it's an actual 3D view of your room map. So when the drone flies around, it is actually it's showing to you the 3D mapping of your room from when you did your room mapping, which is pretty crazy. And you can fly around and shoot in your room, or like the enemies will shoot rockets. And just now, I don't know if you're seeing the ceiling in the room got destroyed. and there's a guy on a scaffolding in the middle you have to rescue, and meanwhile enemies are shooting at you. You have to shoot all of them. So there's like tanks on the ground that are shooting at you, shooting missiles at you, and then there are these mines that are on. So I don't know if you can see in this video. There's a mine. It's actually in the mirror. It's in the world. It's like in the alternate reality world in there. See that? It's
Right. Yeah,
actually
yeah.
so like I guess the headset thinks that mirror world. And watch, I'm gonna fly into this mirror. If I okay, first I was running into see like I'm inside the mirror now.
Right.
I thought that was so cool. So it basically enlarges my play space.
That's cool.
Yeah, and you can change the drones. Like you did you try to change it so you can fly like a UFO around? I did that later in this video.
Oh no, I didn't try that. No.
All right.
How did you find the controls? Because I ended up swapping the controls
Oh,
around a
you
bit because I
definitely need to
found.
swap them. So when I first heard about this on Reddit, I I replied to the Reddit thread to the dev saying I need these controls changed because originally the default controls were way too hard for me to use. So yeah, he said, "Oh, I'm going to do an update where you're going to be able to change the controls." So I can't remember what the default is, but it didn't make sense with my brain. Can you remember what it was?
I think I can't. The way I remapped it was that it was kind of like more like a when you're forwards, backwards, and then strafe left and right, whereas they had it like
Oh
forwards,
yeah.
backwards on one, and then you
Yeah, if you
strafe on
pressed
the other
okay
one.
on the left stick, if you press forward, it went up, and if you press down, it went down, and that totally screwed up my brain.
Yeah,
So
I couldn't
I
do it.
switched up and down to like I guess the right stick.
Yeah, I've got it on the right stick, and then
Yeah,
I've got it to turn on the right stick.
exactly. So yeah,
It's
we did the same setup
yeah,
then.
it's like you want it to emulate how you would use a smooth locomotion. You forward, backwards, strafe left and right on one stick, and then you turn on the other stick. But
Yeah,
they had it like weirdly set up so that you would up, down on the left stick, and then I think you could strafe. I can't remember how they had it, but it was it was just messing with my brain. I couldn't figure it out.
yeah, it totally
So
was screwing me up too. Yeah, and I used Quest Games Optimizer with this, so this works with MR stuff too. It made it look better.
all right, I didn't think it looked too bad anyway. I mean, it looks pretty cool. Like
Yeah,
I've not done a lot of MR stuff, but I thought this, it was just really cool having this little drone flying around your room, and
yeah,
then you can look at you in your left hand. You've got like a monitor which you can see like the drone's perspective, so you can aim because you can fire like machine guns with one trigger, and then the other trigger will drop bombs and stuff. It's pretty cool. I liked it.
yeah, yeah. The only issue, there's only 5 levels, so you'll be done with it
Yeah,
really fast. So he needs to add
it needs
more
more
to it.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Let
said. Yeah,
me see if I can get to the UFO. There's the UFO. So there's a section where you can switch between the drones. There's different drones. Like there's a shark looking one. There's the UFO.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
showing here like where it actually will realistically interact with your environment if you got a good 3D map. So like that little bench and like
yeah.
my dumbbell rack here, like it's behaving pretty realistically with the rack. And I was like, will it get caught on the TV? It did get caught on the TV. So as long as your 3D map is good,
Yeah, the more time you spend on your 3D map, the better it'll be.
yeah. I don't know if I couldn't go into that room. So what I did try to make a 3D map of multiple rooms, and it didn't like that. It wouldn't let me do it. But I
Yeah, I
was
tried
able to
to do
go
it.
into this hallway.
Yeah, because I wanted to like follow it around my house, so I was like walking and
Yeah,
following it and stuff because I thought that'd be quite cool, but it won't let you
yeah,
do that, unfortunately.
yeah. All right, so I think this was only like it was like $8.99. It's on App Lab,
Yeah,
so
it just needs more content and more variety, like because all they do is just add more and more enemies to each level. I feel like if they added like some cool stuff, like if they had like some cool levels where you're like having to move cargo around or something that's less combat, where you add like walls into your environment that you've got to fly through, or like minefields that you've got to slowly fly through. Just something just to spice it up a little bit, so it's not just kill these few enemies. Because like the last level is really hard because they have so many freaking enemies firing at you. And did you find it really difficult to aim the guns? Even when I was looking through the little screen, I found like
Well,
getting the machine guns to
I never
shoot.
looked through the screen. I found that pretty useless. I just looked directly at it.
I found to aim the machine guns, I've really struggled to do it. By looking like just from the ship, like outside the ship.
I
Oh,
would
were you following like the
I
drone
would
behind?
follow it.
Oh yeah,
I would follow the drone
yeah.
behind, and that helped a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I probably should have done.
And see, here I
Yeah,
am looking at the mirror, watching the drone fight something inside the mirror. It's so like while I
yeah,
was recording this, I was like, this is fucking breaking my brain. Yeah.
yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Next thing. This is Endless Wonder VR demo. This is like a platformer game that has a cool look to it. I think I don't know. Last I saw it was on sale for like $9. But so this is a free demo. It's pretty trippy. So you use wands. There'll be like a wand in each hand. In the demo, there are magnetic wands and there were bounce wands. The magnetic wands, it's really weird. I've never seen anything like it before. So like you'll come up to like a wood gate that's in the way, and then the magnetic wands, even though it's not metal, they'll stick to. If you press a button, they'll stick to the wood, and then you don't climb over the fence or whatever is in the way. You have to like push up on the left analog stick and like you slowly rotate. I don't think they show it in this video. It's really hard to describe. You slowly the wands rotate. It's like there's the magnet
Right.
wands, and it's really weird. You rotate, and then that makes you get higher, like up the gate, and then you do the wands again, and then you go higher again. I I don't know why he chose that instead of just like letting you climb or something. And then there's also these wands that see how he's bouncing. That's how you traverse some levels. You use these bouncy wands. There's a game
Yeah.
called Stilt that I haven't tried that came out recently, and it looks like it's that same type of thing. I thought this was pretty interesting, but it's very indie. And
Yeah.
the enemies don't really come after you. They just like run this like pattern back and forth. They'll just like run left, run right, run left, run right, run left, run right. So far, at least. I don't
Yeah.
know if later in the game they get more smart. I don't know.
This video looks cool though. I think it looks like a cool game.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Hopefully they can improve it and fix some of the little niggles. But
And the developer's been very responsive to people on Steam. So like they were asking, "Hey, I need to, like the angle of these wands." Yeah, in the demo, the angle of the wands was really bad, and then he immediately added some option where you could change the angle of the wands, and there are some other things. Oh, I said that some of these like textures on on the rocks, they don't look right. Like so, this is a game like where it has like an ambient occlusion issue, and the developer
yeah.
acknowledged it, and then he was like, "All right, I made an option where you can turn off ambient occlusion, like really fast." So there you go. And
Good.
these are just some pictures I took. I mean, you have to actually go through this spiral thing. Like
Yeah.
you have to platform through all that. So it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's very interesting,
Yeah.
but there isn't much to the game other than just get through the level with these weird wands. I'm
Yeah. I mean,
not
it's a
sure.
platformer, so it's just
Yeah.
getting
I,
from one place to another.
there might be boss battles, but I don't think the demo didn't have it. But I think I read a comment about somebody talking about a boss battle. So I might,
Yeah.
I might buy it. We'll see. All right. Here's SuperCold VR demo. So since I tried cold VR, somebody was brought up SuperCold, and I was like, I wonder if there is a SuperCold. And then on Steam there is a SuperCold VR, and this is what it looks like. So
It looks
you
like
have
a medieval
it's
type of game.
yeah, but I gotta say it's terrible. You have a bow here. You can't bring the arrow back and just hold it. If you bring it back and the arrow just auto fires. There's no
Oh, what?
yeah, I've never seen a bow where you can't just like hold it and fire when you want. It just auto fires. And this is all it is. It's a medieval thing where they run at you slowly. And the more you move, I think it's this was it? Maybe it's the same as I can't even remember now. It might be the same as super hot where you need to stay still and then they don't move. I can't remember. It's trash. Is what it is.
Okay.
This is all it is. You stay in one spot and that's it. And they just keep coming. And there was one other environment that is in the that was in the like cold. It was like in an Arctic area. This isn't my video.
Right.
This is somebody's video. There's the cold one. So maybe that's their justification for calling it super cold. But this is all the game is.
Yeah. Clearly, like trying to do the super hot thing, but just weird wave shooter type thing.
Yeah. So that's all. Oh, if you've made it this far, here's a free 7th guess Steam key. E995K CY. Did I say that right?
That's not right.
What did I say?
No, you said E9.
I said E9.
It's not
Shit, you're
E8.
right. You're right. EN95K CY96J 53T7Z. And it's on screen right now on YouTube also. So we'll see who gets that. If you get it, let us know if it actually works.
It's a great game as well, so it's worth playing.
That came with my Humble Bundle. That's the problem with these bundles is I usually own all the games that come with the bundles.
Yeah. Someone's gonna get lucky.
Yeah, Alex just got EA Sports WRC, but he hasn't played it yet. This just came out and had VR support. You know, we don't know. There have been people complaining about it on the forums.
People are saying it's blurry and stuff. I've got a feeling it might be because it's going to be using temporal anti-aliasing, but we'll see. I'm going to try it out. I didn't have time to do it before this, so next month I can say whether it's worth it or not. It's on a really deep sale right now, so it was like £17, $20, I think.
Okay.
Which, if it's good, then that's definitely going to be worth it because it's got loads of content, so much stuff in there.
People were saying that Dirt Rally 2 looks better.
Yeah, because it's using MSAA, so like you won't have the issue.
Well, why don't they use that here?
It's a different engine. They've switched to Unreal Engine. The old Dirt Rally games were using their own engine before.
Oh, their own engine. Oh, and Unreal can't use MSAA?
It can, but you've got to use a different type of rendering. And all non-VR games use, I think it's deferred rendering. I can't remember which way around it is. There's forward rendering and there's deferred rendering. Like I think VR works better with forward rendering, but then you can't have a lot of like certain particle effects and stuff don't work in it, and like it's very limited.
Okay.
Like, all flat games are made using I think it's the deferred renderer, which doesn't work as well in VR, unfortunately.
All right, another game that just came out that we haven't played, Madison VR. I think this is $30. I'm interested.
You know that this. Yeah, I was going to say. I found out recently that it was Team Beef that did the port for this.
Really?
I didn't realize.
Oh.
Yeah. So it could actually be all right.
Wow. All right.
Are you going to play it?
It's $30. I don't know. I did beg for a key and I didn't get a response. I don't know.
It's
Aren't,
really, it's
aren't
supposed to be really scary, and
aren't
I'm
you
not
big
good with
enough?
scary games.
Aren't you big enough that you should be getting a key for this?
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's because I've not been uploading much lately. I used to get like the publisher that's published this normally just send me keys,
Hmm.
with all their stuff. So I'm surprised I've not had an email about it. But the problem is I don't like scary games, and this is apparently really scary. So, because I still haven't finished Propagation Paradise Hotel yet because I just found it
Because
too
it's so
scary. So
scary. Hmm.
I like that's an intense game. I can't handle that game.
Yeah. All right. Go to the next one. Stride Fates. This already came out on Quest. It comes out May 16th on PC and PlayStation 2. And you did a video about this on Quest, maybe?
Yeah,
Or
a while ago before it came out.
yeah, yeah.
It
I
was
don't
on
know if this
PC,
is
but it was like the Quest version.
okay.
Yeah, but it looks like it was pretty fun. I enjoyed what I played
Yeah.
of it.
All right. I'm not sure if I'm excited about it at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I
All
am.
right. Oh, Exo Cars. I don't know. You ever heard of this? Comes out May 22nd. This is all the only video they have of this. On Steam, they just have screenshots of
I think it's been made by the same developers. Can you remember Z Cars or
yeah,
whatever it was called, where it was like
Z
hovercraft
Z
shit?
Race. You
Yeah,
call it
that's
Z
it.
you
Z.
call it Z Race. I call it Z Race. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and I thought that was pretty kind of lackluster. So I'm a bit concerned with this one, but like the concept's so cool. Like being in like these buggies. I think it's like really VR as well, where you can like use your hands to like do shit and stuff. And
Hmm.
yeah, it could be really good fun, but because it's going to be made on such a small budget, I don't know
And it's
if
weird
it's
that
going to
there's
be
been
good.
no video, no gameplay video, just pictures. And it comes out
Yeah,
May 22nd.
they did that with that Z race or Z race, whatever you want to call it, where they
Hmm.
just didn't really release a lot of footage, and it turned out it was kind of like where you were third person, you weren't even inside the thing, and then they were going to make a big update for it, and then they never did, and yeah, I don't know.
Okay. This one was new to me. Kid Pilot. Have you seen this? This comes out May 23rd. This is a game where
Yeah.
you're holding, I guess you're holding this plane and you're going through uh, these
Yeah.
obstacle courses. You're going through levels,
Interesting.
and I guess it's sort of like Yuki.
Yeah.
This
I like the
seems,
look of it.
yeah, it seems interesting to me. It's PC only, I think.
Never heard of it before, actually.
I heard about it on Upload VR.
Oh,
Uh,
this looks cool.
So,
I like
yeah.
it.
So that's Kid Pilot, May 23rd. Then F124 is May 31st. Are you going to get this? Or only if it has
No,
good reviews? I don't expect it to have good reviews because these games
I
usually don't.
played. If for some reason everyone hates on anything Codemasters makes, but I played F122 and it was a bit blurry, but I managed to fix it with some like reshade shit. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd rather play Gran Turismo 7. It's
Yeah.
literally just Formula One cars. It's just a bit boring, just having the same cars over and over.
Yeah. Okay. Is this what it actually looks like in an F1 car? This view? Or is this
Yeah,
just a weird
yeah.
view? Oh, this is what it really looks
No,
like?
because they have like a crash protection thing called the Halo, which
Mm-hmm.
is like this carbon fiber surround, and then like a stalk that comes down. So that's exactly what it looks like inside.
Oh, that beam in the middle wouldn't, that would annoy me. Of course, I'm not used to it. That would annoy me trying to drive with that beam in the middle.
Yeah, there's an option to turn that off, so you can like
Oh,
make
okay.
it into transparent, so like you don't have to have it showing up. But
I'm just imagining the actual drivers that they have to see that the whole time they're driving, but they don't care. I guess they're so used to it. All right.
Yeah, it was something they introduced a few years ago, but apparently it's already kind of saved people's lives because before the head like was so exposed,
Mm-hmm.
if they like rolled or something, there would just be no protection.
Hmm.
And there's been several accidents where like it's actually saved drivers' lives, so it's
Hmm.
definitely. I don't think they're going to complain about it.
Okay. Now we're getting to big news. Alien Rogue Incursion comes out holiday 2024 on all platforms, but on Quest it's Quest 3 only, which is good
Good.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no gameplay, it's just kind of this teaser thing. And we
Yeah,
still don't know for
we knew they
sure
were
what the
working on
game
it.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All they're saying is it's a single player, like story driven thing. That's all we know. And it's based between is it between the first movie and the second movie, I think? I think that's the timeline.
I can't remember.
But I love the alien stuff, so to me this is like I can't wait for this. This year's looking pretty good actually. I thought it was going
Yeah.
to be a pretty dull year. At the start. I mean, we had Bulletstorm, which was obviously a bit of a disappointment. But now we've got this. We've got Metro, which is coming this year, and we've got another
And
game which I think you're going to mention in a sec.
and we have Riven. Is Riven this year?
Riven might be.
I think it is.
Is it the Rhythm? We've got Behemoth.
Behemoth. If that, because that was already delayed a year. I wonder if that'll just be delayed again. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Then this big announcement: Batman Arkham Shadow is coming late 2024 for Quest 3 only.
Yeah,
And
another Quest
this came
3.
out of nowhere. It's by Camouflage, the developer of Iron Man VR, which I liked a lot. And this trailer
Would you say?
apparently it has a lot of rats, so people speculated that this is going to have a character named Ratcatcher as the main
Yeah.
antagonist. And I don't know anything about that. Do you?
No, I don't know anything about it. I don't really know much about this sort of superhero shit, but
Yeah.
it's fun. They're fun games. Like the flat games were really good. And like I still haven't played. Do you think it's worth playing Iron Man? Like, because I know they brought it for
Oh,
the
yeah.
Quest.
Yeah, I think so. But with Quest Games Optimizer, not just without.
Yeah,
I think it's too low res without
did you play it on PC or did you play it on
PSVR.
PSVR?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tempted to give it a go because I think the gameplay looks really fun. Um,
I bought it for Quest and I tried it briefly
and it looks good.
with Quest Games Optimizer. Yeah.
Right, I need to
Which
get that
which
then.
is like 10 or $11 maybe.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of stuff on Quest that I haven't played, like Assassin's Creed, and I still haven't played Asgard's Wrath 2 yet.
And both of those
Been
games
too busy.
I did not use Quest Games Optimizer for those cuz I thought they looked good enough and then like,
Yeah,
they're already pushing it, so I didn't want to push the system more.
yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to. I'm really curious how they're gonna do like the combat and stuff in this game
Yeah.
because obviously the non VR versions are literally third person. Like they're the ones that kind of made the whole combat system for a lot of other third person brawlers. The way that you like counter and move around a lot and stuff.
Do you
So
think you
maybe
can
they're gonna just
Sorry. You can go ahead.
well,
Do you think
no, you
you can
go.
play those games, those flat games in VR with with Vorpex or something?
Yeah, you can play them in Vorpex, yeah.
I wonder if it's any good.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. There's a way. There's something called Geo 3D as well, which you can use to play them as well, like in
Oh,
perfect
you
3D.
can?
Yeah, that. Um, I like them. Some people rate the second game, like but Arkham City. the highest. But I personally think the third one, Arkham Knight, was the best because you've
Hmm.
got the Batmobile and you literally could drive around the city in the Batmobile. And
Hmm.
they also had like puzzles which you had to use the Batmobile because you had the Batmobile could do things like hook on to things, and so they like introduced certain elements. And yeah, I preferred the last one out of the series personally because
Did
it
you
was just
beat
more
them
fun
all?
getting around the city. Yeah, I played through all of them. Yeah, they're
Wow.
good games. They're really good games. I don't personally think that the combat's that everyone always bangs on about the combat scene, how it's amazing, but I found it kind of boring because it's literally all you do is literally just like counter and then press punch, wait for another counter and punch. It's like I don't know. I didn't feel it was particularly that great
Hmm.
myself.
I
Yeah, I
played a
want to
little
see
bit
more of
of
this. I want to see
Arkham. Sorry, I played a little bit of
the first
Asylum. I
one.
think on PS3 like a long time ago. Only a little bit, and then I don't know. I lost interest. I don't know, but
I think
I'm
Asylum's really good as well.
okay.
It's more linear, but there's a really like really good level in there where you Scarecrow, one of the villains, he kind of like injects you with this shit that makes you hallucinate, and then like you turn really small, and the Scarecrow's like hunting you down, and he's like really giant and stuff. That's really cool little section of the game.
Hmm. All right.
Um, but yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with this because I thought the little VR game that they made was really cool, but obviously it was very basic, like gameplay wise. So if they can take that level of polish and everything, and then bring it to like a more open, like little worldy kind of game with all the combat and stuff, it could be really, really good. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
I'm sure you'll be able to throw a batarang, and I'm sure you'll be punching, and maybe kick will be a button press if there's a kick, like that fighting game.
Well,
Well,
if you can fly around as well, like if you can like open your arms out and then like glide and stuff,
I'm
that could be really
sure I'm
cool.
sure you'll be able to. Yeah, that would be
The
good.
biggest games are also have a lot of stealth. Like they're not really. There's a lot of stealth sections in the main game where you can like use bat vision, where you can like see through walls and shit. So there's so many cool things they can do with it,
Yeah.
with VR, which
Hmm.
it could work really well. And I think because of the dark environments, they can hide a lot of like bad stuff. So I think
Hmm.
they could still potentially make it look really good on the Quest.
Yeah. I hope it isn't. Well, I guess that wouldn't matter. I was gonna say I hope it isn't some stylized graphics thing, but then I guess that could be like a comic book look. But this trailer doesn't look like that,
Yeah,
so you wouldn't think they do
no,
that.
I don't think it will be. They wouldn't show this trailer if it was going to look like that. So I
Yeah.
think it's going to go for more realistic, like Iron Man style
Yeah.
uh, visuals.
All right. That's all we have. Do you have anything else? Is there anything else coming out that you can think of?
No, I think we've got a good year coming up. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. There's some cool stuff in development.
And Alex is a
And
virtual insider. He
yep,
is
I
literally
know
behind
shit.
the scenes and he knows secrets.
I know stuff.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
it just VR. Just I don't know. I know there's that other podcaster where they was getting a bit despondent and what's it called? I can't
Recentered.
remember. I always forget the name. Recentered,
Recentered.
yeah. And they like I went on a break and stuff, and I've never felt that way. I just feel like VR's just going from strength to strength. Really, I thought last year was a good year. This year was looking a little bit sucky, but with all the announcements we've had, there's so many cool games. Like the Aliens games, definitely. Like I can't wait to see more of that. The Metro game's going to be really good. I can like Arizona Sunshine developers a pretty decent studio. Camouflage again, a good studio making a Batman game. So there's just so many cool things happening, and this was all coming out this year. I just think this year is going to be another good year. I think there's stuff going on in development we don't even know about that is just it's just they don't tell you about it until the same year sometimes. So you don't even know what's coming out until you get to the middle of the year. Then you start to get a better picture of what's going to be coming out, and now we're really getting a good picture of some of the big IP games that are coming, which it's really exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing all this stuff.
Yeah, and I have such a big backlog, and there's all this UEVR stuff you could be playing too. There's so much stuff you can be playing. So
Yeah, I mean, I've got literally PSVR 2 is the main thing I'm using at the moment because I've got like a big backlog of PSVR 2 games, and I'm still haven't finished Resident Evil 4 or Horizon Call the Mountain. I'm still putting loads of time into Gran Turismo 7, and even though there's not loads of stuff coming out, we still seem to find stuff to play, and I still feel like there's still plenty there as long as you're looking for it. I still feel like there's plenty there to keep playing, and like with mods and stuff, and yeah, cool.
all right, that's it. Maybe next month there will be a key again, because there are more humble bundle games that I already own.
Ooh.
So there you go. You can
What
look
games
forward to
might there
that.
be?
What games?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Probably not
Tune
as
in
good
to
as
find
Seventh
out.
Guest. I think Seventh Guest was the
Probably
best
not.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably be games people already own.
probably. But
We'll see.
still, we'll see.
You'll just have to watch and see. All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.